Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has defended the country's system of meritocracy in a speech to activists in the ruling People's Action Party. More than 1,600 party members gathered today for the first party conference since last year's general election.
It was an occasion for the Secretary-General of the People's Action Party to set the agenda. And from the get-go, he got down to basics, sketching out the party's goals and directions and the need to strike the right balance.
But we have to be very careful not to go overboard as you recalibrate left a bit, right a bit. Don't flip-flop, and turn upside down.
Like the system of meritocracy which Singapore is built upon, some have questioned the value of such a system arising from the debate over academic rankings and the primary school leaving examination.
I worry when I read some people saying that meritocracy is wrong, we should have meritocracy. Because I ask myself, if you're not going on merit, what are you going to look at? You have a choice. You can look at wealth, they got money, you'll give them. You want that? You have another choice. They have connections in Guangxi. You give them. Some countries do that. I don't think that's a Singapore you want. Or you can go by race. That person is a right race. He gets extra marks in the exam. He gets extra advantage for school admissions, for jobs. Do we want that? Is that the Singapore which we have fought to build?
Pressing home the point, Mr. Lee spoke of how the country's system of meritocracy has allowed people with different talents and the disadvantage to move up. There also needs to be balance when it comes to economic growth. Singapore's growth will moderate over the years. It's projected at about 1.5% this year, but Mr. Lee said to expect the numbers to be lower. And the Prime Minister said he doesn't believe less growth is better.
Who's going to be affected first? The lower pay workers, because they're already in a tough spot. Young people will be affected because they are looking for opportunities. No growth, nothing happening. Many will be off. And then we will become an old folks' home in Singapore. And we will not achieve our hopes, and we will not achieve our hopes for our children. So I think people who say, don't worry about growth, we have our spectacles facing the wrong direction, I think they don't appreciate this point.
The third goal is to strengthen the country's national identity while managing the inflow of immigrants.
Majulah Singapura!
Ms. Lee said the PAP must lead the way, setting a clear direction while convincing Singaporeans that the party's policies will benefit them. Coming out of the results from the last general election, there was obviously some amount of soul-searching within the party. But the Prime Minister also used the occasion to raise national issues which affect not just party members, but also ordinary Singaporeans, such as the impact of slower growth and the system of meritocracy in Singapore. Mr. Lee stressed the importance of holding on to the fundamental values which have made the country what it is today.